everyone. Welcome to the program. This is Politics Today, live on Channels Television. I'm Sean Kimaloe here in Abuja. Tonight, our attention will be on the state of the nation. Some of the major political stories making the rounds will get our attention, and I'll be getting a very major political chieftain to discuss some of these issues with us. And of course, we'll be getting to know what the League of Northern Democrats, what that group is all about, and what their objective is really. We'll be finding out tonight on the program. But we begin on a rather sad note, everyone. Patience Umo Eno, the First Lady of Akwa Ibom State, has died after an illness. Ini Ememobong, the State Commissioner for Information, announced the First Lady's passing in a statement issued in the early hours of today. The Nigerian Governors Forum, NGF, has extended its condolence to the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Pastor Umo Eno, over the loss of the wife, Pastor Patience Umo Eno. Reacting to the loss, the NGF, in a statement signed by the Kwara State Governor, Nigerian Governors Forum, Abdurrahman Abdurazak, says that he was shocked at the sudden death of Her Excellency Pastor Patience Umo Eno, the wife of the Governor of Akwa Ibom State, Pastor Umo Eno. So much to talk about. Stick around, everyone, because after your political roundup stories, we get right into it.
Nigerians in diaspora, especially those in the United States, Canada, and the United Kingdom, will henceforth enjoy seamless acquisition of passports. This assurance is coming from the Minister of Interior, Mr. Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, who addressed a special news conference in Abuja to mark his first year in office as the Minister of Interior. The minister says with the activation of automated application system by the federal government, Nigerians will, as from October 2024, acquire their passports without stress.
So regardless of exchange rate, it has no effect. We are not looking at making profit off Nigerians. No, we are looking at serving the people at the barest.
Justice Emeka Wite of the Federal High Court Abuja has ordered the Independent National Electoral Commission to accept and recognize Mr. Zolushola Nehemiah and Ezekiel Awude as the governorship and deputy governorship candidates of the Labour Party for the Ondo State governorship election. Justice Wite issued the order while delivering judgment in a joint suit instituted against INEC and others by the duo. Justice Wite held that the second primary election held by Labour Party and which produced Nehemiah and Mr. Awude was valid and must be upheld by INEC. The governor-elect of Edo State has promised to fulfill his campaign promises to Edo people. According to him, his desire is to work for Edo people and bring development to the state. The governor-elect gave the assurance during a thank-you road tour around major streets in Benin City, the Edo State capital, shortly after arriving in Benin from Abuja, where he obtained the certificate of return from the Independent National Electoral Commission.
We are going to do it! We are going to work for Edo people! We are going to bring our hope back! Our lost hope! We are returning it back to Edo people!
Governor Umaru Fintiri of Adamawa State has described the outcome of the just concluded Edo State governorship election as unfortunate, insisting that the electoral umpire failed to do the right thing and acted against the people's will. Governor Fintiri lamented that INEC is yet to get the country's electoral process right. Despite huge funding and several amendments to the Electoral Act, the governor gave this disclosure shortly after arrived Yola from the Edo governorship election, where he worked as the chairman of the Edo PDP National Campaign Council.
It was a real deft strategic move to stop what they were wanted to do. And that is why they can send their social media dogs to attack me. I did not do anything contrary to the law of this country.
The Taraba State Advisory Committee on Local Government Autonomy says it's determined to reposition and return to status quo, the revered role played by traditional rulers to ensure security of lives and property in the state. The committee, led by a former Speaker of the State Assembly, Mr. Abel Peter, is insisting that no stone will be left unturned in complying strictly with the Supreme Court verdict in ensuring justice and seamless administration at council levels. The Sly-Okenwa group of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, APGA, has dismissed the purported suspension of some officers who were loyal to the governor of Anambra State, Professor Chukwuma Soludo. There was a news conference in Abuja today where the factional chairman of the party described the action as illegal, insisting that Mr. Edozie Njoku lacks the legal right to take such a decision. He describes the action as a desperate attempt to control a party which he is not a member.
All right, then let's let you know that the House of Representatives says that it is ready and geared up to hold an investigative hearing over the allegations against the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, and the Nigerian Correctional Service by a social media influencer, Martin Oshe, popularly known as Very Dark Man. In that resolution of the House followed the adoption of a motion of urgent public importance sponsored by a member representing Ikotekpene, who says that there is a need to probe what the allegations are, especially for the sake of the integrity of the nation. In that memo that was sent out, titled Letter of Invitation to an Investigative Hearing, it was addressed to the chairman, the EFCC, and signed by Honorable Jinja Onwusibe, Honorable Chinedu Orga, and Honorable Kelechi Nwogu. The hearing is supposed to hold on the 30th of September 2024 at 12 noon, and it's supposed to be held at the meeting room 034 of the House of Representatives, new building, and the National Assembly Complex, Abuja. All right, then, my guest will be ready for us after this commercial break, everyone. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us. There's been a lot of conversation when the president said President Tinubu will reshuffle his cabinet and may do so before the 1st of October. His spokesperson has said as much. The president, according to them, is expressed his desire to reshuffle his cabinet, and he will do it. And they say, I do not know whether he wants to do it before October 1st, and he will surely do it. That is what I would say, but he has not given us any timeline. Those are some of the words of Mr. Bayo Onanuga. But what does this mean? Anyways, for Nigeria, the state of the nation, the state of affairs, President Tinubu's capacity to handle things and move the nation forward based on some of the promises that he's made. Let's get some insight into the expectations of Nigerians. I'm being joined tonight by, well, if you call him a former member of the APC, former friend of former President Muhammadu Buhari, is now a chieftain of the NNPP. Buba Galadima is live with us now. So thank you so much indeed for joining us tonight.
Thank you, sure.
Yeah. How much of an anticipation do you have for the planned reshuffling of the president's cabinet?
Sure. That has nothing to do with me or with any Nigerian. What is of importance to all of us is bringing down the harsh conditions of living. And the buck stops only on the table of one man. And that is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. No amount of reshuffle can make any difference.
But I mean, there's just one president. He cannot do the job alone all by himself. That's why he needs a team. And now, I mean, I'm very certain that if they were doing a perfect job, it wouldn't need
as far as that
but
team.
Your assessment, Alhaji Galadima.
As far as that team is only job for the boys, nothing will come out of it.
What do you mean job for the boys? There are technocrats in that team. There are those who are eminent Nigerians who are in that cabinet.
Who are?
There's a Professor Ali Pate there. There is Governor Yinsam Wike there. There is quite a number of people. Dave Umahi, Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, Anikin Lopobre, Minister of State for Petroleum.
Some of them, given the environment, can perform. Wike is performing not because he's Wike, but because he was given the wherewithal to perform. Any other Nigerian given that opportunity could do the same.
But I mean, you are in the opposition, but the fact remains that the way and manner the nation is run, and those who are in the saddle, has to be scrutinized to the extent of looking at what they are doing, an assessment of what the government has said there will be an assessment, and KPIs are set for how they deliver their jobs. But now when the president said, I'm going to reject, it's just about a year since the president appointed them. In your own sense, I mean, we've seen technocrats in government, the Okonjo Iwealas of this world, who have come into government, the Adeshinas of this world, who is now in the AFDB and the rest. What are your expectations should the president decide to reshuffle?
I think, Shaun, I have to assist you because there is something you don't know. As far as Nigeria is concerned, if you own this whole building and you don't give anything, but your security man at the gate dashes money to people, he will be told Rankaidade. So the situation cannot change unless people have got the wherewithal to put in their best.
Explain to us what you mean.
Look at Wike. He was exonerated from putting his revenue into the single treasury account. He's allowed to generate funds as he wishes and spend them as he wishes. Did you know that yesterday, under 5 minutes, his supplementary budget was approved by the National Assembly? 5 minutes. So, please.
So you think that
I urge Nigerians not to have hypertension. Nothing will change.
No matter who the president brings into
yes, unless the president decides that Nigerians will have a better life, will have a lease of life, so condition of living will be brought down. If he agrees to that, look at the argument in the social media that is quoting some sources in the Dangote refinery that they are giving PMS price to government less than 500 naira. And the government is charging us 1,200 in Maiduguri and Damaturu.
Could that be true, though? Because official statement coming from the of Dangote and the NNPCL does not reflect that.
No. Not from Dangote. Dangote didn't say anything.
He has said that the NNPCL and the government should determine those prices.
Why?
And the NNPCL has said they will agree.
I thought we are running free economy. Why should you sell my own product when I produce? You can tax me, but you can't sell. So there is something.
So you think Dangote should be able to determine how he wants to sell?
Of course, and you subject him to competition. And a lot of tanks is wobbling that maybe government is forcing him to give it to NNPC because they want to protect certain interests.
And what interest is that?
Find out. You are an investigative journalist.
Yes,
I saw you speak in Edo.
Yeah. But the fact remains that, Buba Galadima, that, I mean, you are very close to power. You're a very powerful man.
No.
You are the friend of a former president, so you know.
Even this one.
Oh, you're a friend of President Tinubu?
Of course.
Oh, you go to the villa to say?
No, I don't go to the villa, but
he's your
we are
very
friends.
Good friend. So you know a lot, that's why.
No, I don't know anything because I've never been in power. I have never been even a councillor.
No, but you have been close to power.
Yes. During Abacha, I was. And I know how governments run.
Even in the APC, you were close to power.
Friends.
Until you got upset and, you left that cycle.
Friends. And in Nigeria, don't beat your chest for anybody because you knew him before. He will disappoint you.
But the much that you know about President Bola Tinubu, how would you assess him over the past 1 year or more that he's been in the office?
Up and down.
What do you mean by that?
Well, some elements of direction, some elements of...
Are you disappointed?
Very much.
Because of the Bola Tinubu that you know?
Yes.
Why?
I expected him to do better than this.
Where do you think?
And I expected him to hit the ground running because we thought that he's coming with a team that know all the dots and corners of everything. It didn't appear to be so, and he should be told.
So
and he should be told that some of his appointees are more interested in their pockets than service delivery.
Who are these people that you're talking about?
I said you are a journalist.
I mean, I imagine that Buba Galadima is an elder statesman who is fearless, and at your age, you are an old man now. So
me older?
Aren't you an old man?
No.
What else are you afraid of?
No, I'm not an old man. I don't feel.
You're a grandfather.
I don't feel like that.
You are young at heart.
Of course.
But you're a grandfather.
Of course, I can perform wonders.
So the question I'm asking here is that if you think that there are those who are in power who are not doing right by Nigerians, who are these people?
Let me tell you something. If anybody among them does wrong, it is not that person. It is the person who appointed him. Because, look, there was a minister suspended, you know, on allegation. What stops the president from firing that minister, firing her? The next hour, that issue was determined. It is now getting to how many months or years? She's still hanging, receiving salary.
No, I'm not sure she is.
If you are suspended in the civil service role, which you didn't do, you should be having at least half salary.
I worked in the civil service.
Then you should know that the financial instructions of service says that if you are suspended, you take half of your salary.
But sometimes you could be suspended without pay.
No.
No, it happens. Punishment sometimes could be punitive.
That is punishment. This one is suspension for investigation.
But are you sure that she's earning a salary?
Of course she should. If she is not, let her come to me. I will be her lawyer. I will get her money, backlog.
So she should be, for the status of a suspended minister,
yes,
she should be earning a salary.
At least half salary.
So
and nobody is courageous enough to tell us that this is the result of the investigation. Even sometimes you hear that maybe during this cabinet reshuffle, she will be fitted in.
You think so?
Of course. Why? What's in Nigeria? No wonders now. Now everything is possible.
I mean,
anything.
If you look at the cabinet, would you be able to say you are able to identify some eggheads or some people who are really performing?
I have identified one person, at least physically. Now I lost before coming here. I got lost because Wike is working. Whether you like him, you don't like him, at least he has put a face to this Abuja. My own brother and friend was here for 8 years, only praying in the office.
The former minister of FCT.
Of course. What did he do?
You don't think he did anything?
What did he do?
You think he's a failure?
I said, what did he do? No, I'm not saying he's a failure, but tell me what his performance. So we should call a spade a spade.
Let me show you some of these faces. There are a few more people, right, that a lot of people think that, well, they did well. And some people have identified. In fact, after the program yesterday, when these faces were shown on this program, there are those who say, oh, there are a few more people that we could have added into it. So look at them, Alhaji Galadima. Your man, Nyesom Wike, is the first on that list, followed by the Minister of Interior, followed by Dave Umahi, Works Minister. Then under it is Bagudu, the Minister of Budget, Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, Minister of Health.
Just stop there. You don't need to go further. If you say David Umahi, I agree that he's doing his little best, but you cannot physically see what he's doing in Abuja. I said Wike because I see with my eye koro what Wike is doing here.
What about those who see...
This Minister for Interior, is it not... Have you heard about this Bobrisky scandal?
Where the allegations of the...
Is it allegation?
allegations that some officers
is it
in the prisons are...
Is this in the Minister of Internal,
Interior, yes.
Interior.
It's under the House of Reps is probing it. It's under the Ministry of Interior, the National Correctional Service.
Do you know that they can sentence you and don't go to prison in Nigeria?
Tell us more about that.
Do you know that you can pay money to be pardoned?
It happens really. So you can bribe your way.
Asking me.
No, you know a lot. I mean, I'm just a young person, so you've seen a lot and you've heard a lot, and you're a very powerful man in this country.
This is very contemporary.
Yes, I don't know everything. So I'm learning that in a Nigeria that we belong.
Can you tell me what has the Minister of Interior did to deserve a mention? Me, I don't know.
There are those who talk about passports. Our passport acquisition or collection has been eased. There are a few things that people, Nigerians are the ones who put those...
My daughter is just flying by 9:30 flight to London through Istanbul. Do you know how long it took her to change her passport when she came from London?
So you don't agree about the name of some people on that list?
Well, if you know, I'm a very liberal person. If you convince me, why not?
So, there are about 9 of them there. There are those who say, oh, the Minister of Communications, the Minister of Power should be there. The Minister of Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lopobre, is supposed to be there. But, you
mean with this thing happening in the oil industry, you are calling Minister of Petroleum instead of you to be macheted by people. If you are saying this outside, you know that Sheun, you will not come back to this
It
studio.
is me. It's not me. There are reactions that I'm making reference to from yesterday's program.
I mean, in the oil industry, you are mentioning somebody's name. You better be careful.
That's how bad things are.
Yes. These are all the wahala we have in this country now.
Well, is it the minister's fault? I thought it was the president who removed subsidy.
Oh. If I disagree with the policy, can't I resign?
Isn't it a case of a fait accompli? That has happened before he got appointed into office.
Why shouldn't he?
And those who
if I don't believe in any government policy, I get out. Now, I told you that I had never been even a councillor in my life, politically. Am I not living? And I have honor. Let any minister dare me, we go to public and let him see who the people revolve along.
If the president, the kind of ideal cabinet for President Bola Tinubu, in your own eyes, what would it look like?
Look, you see, maybe I have a different opinion. But here, before you, on such programs, I have said times without number since Obasanjo, that if you are president, you are at liberty by this Nigerian constitution, because I participated in the formulation of the constitution in 1987, 1994, and 2014. So I know the constitution right on my palm. It is the prerogative of the president to hear his aides, to help him deliver. I don't accuse any minister for not delivery. I accuse the person who appointed him.
So we should blame President Tinubu,
of course,
for anybody
or anybody that calls himself president or governor or now chairman of council.
In this period, you have said there is hardship, things are tough. But, if you are to give an advice to your friend, you said the president is your friend, what do you think should be done immediately? Turn things around.
Well, many things. All these issues is revolving around the exchange rate. All these issues, including the petroleum, whatever, PMS, AGO, or whatever you call them, let him bring experts that can advise him on how to sort out the foreign exchange issue, the exchange rate of the naira. And he can't go on borrowing. He can't. He can't go on borrowing. We don't need to borrow and service the country. Let's cut our clothes, our coat according to our clothes.
Alhaji Galadima, your presidential candidate, Robbie Kwankunso, said he could do a better job. And in your mind, you think if he was in power, he could have done better?
We could have done better.
Really?
Yes.
In what ways?
Because we can even export Sheun to CNN or Al Jazeera to earn dollars. All this Japa that you people are shouting about, we will go deliberately to train Nigerians and send them out, because this is what India did. When we were young, the governments of Nigeria, state governments and federal, were hiring Indians to come and teach. Sometimes you find an Indian with a master's degree but does not know how to ride a bicycle. It is remittances from Indians all over the world that they managed very well in India and developed IT, developed medical sciences, and today, of the conglomerates in the world, 75 to 80% of their heads are Indians. But nobody is interested in developing Nigeria, only developing his pocket.
How can we change that?
Mindset. You show example as a leader.
How?
You don't know how to lead.
How do you show example as a leader?
Come down to the grassroots. Go to Kano. How they are training people. Dangote Skill Acquisition Center. This, that. They are training young men. Skills. Even though we were being fought by federal government.
Really?
Of course.
In Kano State?
Of course. They know that they are fighting us. We know that they are fighting us. No cooperation. It's only God and prayers that is saving Kano from catastrophe. For the federal government of Nigeria, Kano should go in flames.
That's a heavy allegation. How can the government be fighting the federal?
They know now. They're even taking over the judiciary. Now we want to do... President said you must do local government election to qualify for local government funds. They are now going there to stop us from conducting local government election because they have judiciary or they have people who will do their job.
Why?
Or you send the commissioner of police with specific directives that there are people in Kano that have more security outfit around them than the governor of Kano. You see, what people don't understand is that any part of the body that goes rotten will affect the other parts.
Alhaji Galadima, what would be your final thought on the way Nigeria needs to go before we wrap up?
Before Nigeria missed?
I mean, I'm saying as a final word on the program tonight, what do you think we must do immediately to rescue the situation?
Oh, very simple. Conduct free and fair election, which is possible. Anybody that is assumed to be performing, we give him opportunity to continue. Anybody that is not performing, we remove him and put Sheun. Sheun is not performing, you bring Buba Galadima. Then people who come to power will sit up and work for the people. Now, the people have no say.
Alhaji Buba Galadima, a former friend to the former president.
Present president.
Friend to the present president. Thank you so much indeed for your time tonight. I appreciate it always.
Thank you, Shehu.
We'll take a break, everyone. And when we return, there is a new political force emerging in Nigeria. It's a League of Northern Democrats. The spokesperson of that group will be talking to us. What is their agenda and the objectives? We hear after now. Thank you so much, everyone. Well, we just finished our election last year, isn't it? But the talks about 2027 election is already getting a lot of attention, where the northern elites under the aegis of League of Northern Democrats have held its meeting to fine-tune strategy to politically unite northern Nigeria. Yet, you heard me, League of Northern Democrats. Now, they are a group of eminent northern Nigerians who have come together to form a group and a voice for the northern people, for the people of Nigeria, they say. Well, at that meeting, they've appointed a convener, Dr. Umar Ado, a unanimous appointment to the ex-Kano State Governor and one-time Minister of Education, Ibrahim Shekarau, as their pro-tem chairman, while a former member of the House of Representatives, Emmanuel Jume, is to serve as pro-tem secretary. Now, they've also appointed a former DG of the FRCN, Ladan Salihu, as their spokesperson. Now, what is the League of Northern Democrats? We do know of Arewa Consultative Forum. We do know of the Northern Elders Forum. What about this League of Northern Democrats? Ladan Salihu is live with us in our studio. Thank you so much, Ladan, for joining us tonight.
Thank you so very much, Sean. Good to see you.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you too. League of Northern Democrats. Who are they?
The League of Northern Democrats, Sean, is a congregation, an amalgamation of concerned northern prolific citizens, elites, those who are technocrats, political stalwarts across party lines, captains of industry, retired army officers, generals, air vice marshals, brigadiers general, former ministers, captains of industry, and all those members of the elites who are really concerned about the deplorable and the challenging, almost scandalous situation in the North. Scandalous in terms of the economy, the security, politics, and social life. The North is the epicenter of backwardness. Is the epicenter of retrogression. It is the epicenter of the politics of catch as your catch can chance. It is the epicenter of conflict and conflict resolution, the epicenter of insecurity. I'm sure these are issues that are worrisome to the North. And it appears that we continue to push and move on as if these problems do not exist. It appears that there is no quality leadership on the board to champion not only the cause, but to educate, enlighten, and bring up these issues for general discussion in such a manner that we coalesce, we unite, we appreciate the challenges, the constraints, the limitations, and the way forward. So that is the mission and vision of the Northern League of Democrats.
How is this group different from the Arewa Consultative Forum? How is it different from the Northern Elders Forum? Because these are well-respected groups representing the voice and the people of the Northern Nigeria.
It's a very brilliant question, Sean. The Arewa Consultative Forum, the Northern Elders Forum, the League of Northern Democrats, we all have to play out our roles, our visions and missions pari passu. But then the public, the general public, the Northern Nigeria that we live today, I will not be the one to sit down and denigrate or speak in charitable terms with respect to the ACF or the Northern Unity Forum. But I think it is the preponderance of opinion in the North and in the League of Northern Democrats that these organizations have either fallen short of our expectations, or they have not necessarily put their hands on the plow to address the sensitive issues pertaining to the North, especially when it comes to leadership recruitment, especially when it comes to the issues that affect the core survival of the North, addressing poverty and holding those in authority accountable for the backwardness of the North. We are not as vociferous, we're not as unrelenting, we're not as vocal in telling the rest of Nigeria the plight of the North. We are not as consistent in our commitment. We are not particularly, we just like not so worried. And it's like you have a kid with pepper in his hands, and he's licking the pepper, and he's having tears all over his face, and he continues to lick the pepper, and the tears are continuously flowing. So we must arrest the drift.
Now, I mean, it's no longer news of the enormous attention that the northern population needs in terms of poverty, in terms of out-of-school children, in terms of infrastructure deficit that the northern society is experiencing, is experiencing, because when we say he experienced them, we're talking in the past, but these are prevailing issues that the people of the North are facing. But the question here is that we know that there is a unison in and a kind of the cultural understanding within the northern population of how they believe so much in the traditional religious institutions and also the political leadership in the North, so much so that you could almost get one vote in one voice from that number on the mass of the northern people. That is how unified that the northern population could be. And we've experienced this few years back. But it does look like things are changing. Politically speaking, it does look like some of the leaders in the North do not carry that weight any longer. Those political leadership are not even getting that kind of followership any longer. It does look like some members of the population have lost hope, and now those leaders have lost their voices. In fact, there is a factionalization of the spiritual leadership of the northern people. The hegemony that we saw seems to be dissipated. Now, how does the League of Northern Democrats hope to unify for the progress of the North? And mind you, the leaders of the North will say there has been a deliberate backward integration of the North. That the leaders of the North are responsible for the backwardness or the kind of retrogression that we see in the North today.
Yes, Sean, you're very much on point. Look, from the time of Sardauna to the time of Shehu Shagari, the North had a culture, a political culture that is embedded in our own political socialization of speaking with one voice, acting together in unison. But over the years, that culture has suffered. It's been surreptitiously replaced by the culture of, if you like, political disintegration, political godfatherism, and a situation in which every so-called leader in the North is tearing away, operating in clusters, almost rudderless. So what the League of Northern Democrats is doing and has started doing is to bring back that culture of Northern unity through deepening stakeholding, through contacts with key leaders that we have identified. This group has visited and has had meetings with the likes of General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, has had meetings with the former head of state, General Abdusalami Abubakar, has had meetings with, has had contacts with General Yakubu Gowon. We are making headway. We have also met, you may want, this may interest you, we have also contacted Chief Olusegun Obasanjo. We have gone far.
He's not a northerner.
He's not a northerner, but, you know, his preeminent position as a politician has an input to make in this organization.
Does the 2027 general election has anything to do with the formation of the League of Northern Democrats?
The 2027 elections and the elections that will come after 27 and all other elections ad infinitum, we will be interested. We are a broad-based organization that cut across party lines. What we are interested is in political recruitment, get the best brains. In the establishment, get the best technocrats. In the economy, employ the best, captains of industry to drive, all these issues in the North.
But what is the followership of this group?
Oh, absolutely
amazing.
Amazing.
Who are the leaders of this group?
The leaders of this group are the ones you mentioned in your opening statement. We have the convener, Dr. Umar Arto. He's very well known within political circles in Nigeria. He's an arrowhead in Nigerian politics, in both boardroom and on the platform. He has helped in midwifing the PDP. He has played a crucial role in the metamorphosis of the APC, and he has equally played a pivotal role in bringing President Muhammad Buhari to power. And he is a well-known figure. Then you have Ibrahim Shekarau. We have 60 governors from the North.
60?
60 governors.
Former governors.
Former governors from the North, amongst whom the organization zeroed in on, Ibrahim Shekarau. We have the secretary, Honorable Jimmy from Plateau State. We have people that are joining this organization by the day.
Is there an understanding that power returns to the North in 2027 within the group?
It is not particularly on our dashboard for now. These are issues that are, in discussion, and we have a political summit, the Northern Political Summit, that will be spearheaded by the League of Northern Democrats in Kaduna, 12th and 13th of November. We want to bring everybody on board, everyone. This is not an exclusive club of political minds. No, this is an organization that is there to address the core issues that affect Northern unity, the issues of insecurity, for instance, and the issues of the economy and the biting poverty, which I said all this and more put together, the North seemed to be the epicenter. We want a great North, but we also want a greater Nigeria.
But, do you have the buy-in of the greater majority? Because it looks like a gathering of Northern elites.
No, absolutely. We have the buy-in of literally everybody, and this is why. We have a greater number of Nigerians of the Northern extraction are disappointed that the North did not, first of all, act in one voice in determining, the key issues of our politics, including political leadership. The North does not seem to operate in a manner that you headhunt the best out of us to bring into the cabinet, to bring into, credible positions, and to bring people that are
are ready to serve the North, not people that are ready to serve their own interest or to operate within the circle of their primordial sentiments. So what we are, people are disappointed that the issues that led to, the past political, experience that we've gone through, the northern people are disappointed that our leaders did not come out with one voice to speak, to get leadership on the table on our own terms.
Yeah. Thank you so much. I will look forward to the activities, and probably when we have a better North, we will also have a better South and a greater Nigeria. Thank you so much. Ladan Salih, who is a former Director General of the FRCN and is a spokesperson of the League of Northern Democrats. Thank you so much indeed for coming.
Greater North, greater Nigeria. Thank you, Shehu.
Thank you so much. That's our show for today, everyone. Many thanks for being part of it. I'm Shehu Akimbaloe. God bless Nigeria.